So the first assignment for today is to create a rough draft from your graphic organizer that you guys worked on yesterday. So some of you have sentences that are done and ready to go, and you can move right into your rough draft, and all you got to do is copy them over. Some of you have a little bit more work to do in that rough draft. So it's going to be a little bit harder to write your rough draft, but do keep in mind this is a rough draft. But the final goal is to write a paragraph. So we want to make sure that we have sentences, capital letters, and periods. Take your time and give me the best that you can. And then at the end of the lesson, our guest teacher will collect them, and then I'll try to review them today. Probably not, though. But that'll be our next step, is for me to look over them and make corrections and you guys to write the final copy. So here's how that should go. You should have your graphic organizer over here, and you should have your rough draft over here. And if you have put the work in and you already have sentences that are finished, then all you're going to do is move those sentences over into a paragraph format, starting with your topic sentence. Odin is my favorite character. Remember, this is my sample and not yours. You're not going to write the same sentence. But I'm going to start out by saying Odin is my favorite character. Notice I did not drop down and start a new line. I'm going to keep writing after that one until I run out of space on that line. Moving on down here to my character's strengths. Remember, your strengths refer to your character, who that person is on the inside, not just them being strong. So Odin is my favorite character. He is very smart, period. Then I'm going to drop down here, and I'm going to look for an example of his strength. So I wrote about how Odin was able to find out about one of the gods and that he was about to die. Remember the story with Balder? So I'm going to take that sentence and write it next. Odin was able to find out that a god was about to die. See what happened there? I ran out of space on the line, and so it jumped down to the next line. We're not writing sentence, 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 sentence. We're writing a paragraph, which means it's going to take up the same amount of space each time. If there's a period, we're going to continue writing after it, and we're going to move down when there's no more space on the paper. All right, topic sentence. Strength and an example. Now we're going to talk about his weakness. He let Loki get away with a lot. He sure did. He let Loki get away with a lot. You know what? I'm going to change that to an exclamation mark. Then after I have named his weakness, remember your weakness is referring to his character, something that he is not very good at. Then I'm going to tell an example of his weakness. For example, Odin let Loki stay even though he did lots of bad things like cutting Sif's hair. Odin let Loki stay even though he did lots of bad things like cutting Sif's hair. Almost done. Last thing we need is our concluding sentence. Remember, the job of your concluding sentence is just like your topic sentence, but you're finishing up the paragraph, so they should be pretty similar. That is why Odin is my favorite character. That is why Odin is my favorite. Done, right? No, not quite done. The last thing we're going to do before we do, in fact, call it done is we are going to look back at what we wrote, and we're going to look for those things that we know we have to fix, like capital letters, periods, spaces, all that good stuff. So I'm going to start at the beginning, and I'm going to read it to myself. Odin is my favorite character. He is very smart. Odin was able to find out that a god was about to die. He let Loki get away with a lot. Odin let Loki stay even though he did lots of bad things like cutting. Oh, Sif should be capitalized. Sif's hair. That is why Odin, oh, looky there. I need a capital O, is my favorite character. So again, that's what you guys are doing. If you finished your graphic organizer yesterday, then it should be pretty easy to roll into this one. If you didn't quite get finished and you need to put in a little more work, that's fine too. But this is what needs to be done before you go to art today. This is going to be collected before you go to art today. Both pieces of paper are coming in to me today. Y'all got it? Okay. Our guest teacher, go ahead and pass out those graphic organizers and then a blank copy of the rough draft, and students can get started, but they should all be collected before everybody walks out the door for art class.